Hey y'all, Mr. Thibodeau here. So we have lesson 40 to go over. So lesson 40, some of the angle measures of a triangle. So this is actually a pretty simple lesson. It is important though. Okay. So now when we're talking about angle measurements, when we are adding up the different angles of a triangle, okay, so a square has 360 degrees for each of the angles. That's true for a square and a rectangle. Okay. When we are talking about a triangle, the triangle is broken into 180 degrees, okay, because it is half of a square or half of a rectangle. Now, the interesting thing here is that there is no way to draw a triangle where it is not 180 degrees. Okay, this just cannot be done. It's just a kind of a weird trick of the geometry where when you are adding those three lines together, if you measure them out, you will always, always, always get 180 degrees. Three straight lines put together will always equal 180 when you add them up. So over here, I have 30 and I have 90. So this one here must be 60. And I know that because 90 plus 90 equals 180, right? So if I have 90 plus 30, that's going to be 120. The difference between 120 and the remaining 180 is going to be 60. Okay. Now you can test this, and they have the activity for using this with a protractor, where no matter how you come up with this angle, you're always going to get that 180. The cool thing too is they show you here that when you combine all three of these angles here, you're also going to get 180. Now the reason for this is actually quite simple. The angle of a straight line, remember, is 180. So if all three of these together equals a straight line, then all three of these added together must equal 180. Okay. All right. They're also going to talk about angle pairs. Again, because of a straight line, 2 plus 3 has to equal 180, right? Because that is the degree of a straight line. 2 plus 3 equals 180. Over here, 1 plus 4 must equal 180. The interesting thing that we find out when we draw this, when we draw something like this, is you can measure when two lines bisect like this, 2 and 4 are always, always, always going to be identical. They're going to be the same number. We're going to call those angle pairs, or it's a supplementary angle, and we're going to call it vertical angles. Sorry. So 2 and 4 are vertical angles. 3 and 1 are vertical angles. 2 and 1 are supplementary angles. Okay. 2 and 1 are also adjacent. Okay. And when we're looking at this, let me draw it out for you because you'll see a little better too, right? So, all right, so 1 and 2, 1 plus 2 equals 180. Okay. 1 and 4 must equal 180, right? Because this is a straight line. 2 plus 3 has to equal 180. Okay. And then 4 plus 3 equals 180. So, if 3 plus 2 equals 180 and 3 plus 4 equals 180, we have to be able to assume that 4 equals 2. And if 1 plus 2 equals 180 and 1 plus 4 equals 180, again, that shows us 4 equals 2. If 1 plus 2 equals 180. Okay, and 2 plus 3 equals 180. Then that implies that 1 equals 3. Now, I don't know what angle 1 is. Okay, I have no information on that. I would have to use a protractor to figure that out. But I do know that 1 and 3 are called vertical angles. Okay. 1 and 2, as well as 1 and 4, are called adjacent, because they together they equal 180. Oh, sorry. They're both supplementary and adjacent. So adjacent, sorry, we'll do supplementary first. Adjacent means they're next to. Adjacent angles don't always equal 180. For instance, there you go. For instance, if I had it like this, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 2 and 3 are adjacent. They do not equal 180. 1, 2, and 3 do. Okay. So 1, 2, and 3 would share a common side in this case. So adjacent means next to or share a side. Share a common side. Supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180. Okay. 2 angles that equal 180 are supplementary. Vertical angles, a pair of non-adjacent, as in they are across from each other, right? 2 and 4 are not next to each other. Okay, they don't share the same line. Angles formed by intersecting lines. They always equal each other. So 2 and 5 are vertical. They equal each other. 1 and 4 equals each other. 3 and 6. 1 equals 4. 2 equals 5. 3 equals 6. Okay? In this case. 2 angles who work together to equal 90 degrees are going to be called complementary. Okay? Two angles added together equaling 90 degrees is complementary. Oops, sorry. 2 angles added together equals 90 degrees. That is a complementary angles. Okay? These words, I mean, yes, this is hard to follow because my handwriting is awful. These are important words to know. We're going to use these a lot, and you're going to use them a lot in high school because geometry is going to use them a lot. So I do want you to pay attention to these. I do want you to try your best to memorize these and think about them. Okay. What I'd like you to do is I want you to do the practice set A through E. We are not going to have you do any of the written practice. Okay? So you always do the practice set, but I'm going to just make sure you know. This week, practice set only. No written practice. There's just too much work going on. Okay. All right, and that's it. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy any holidays you may or may not be participating in.